What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the NFC North Roundtable, powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. Link in the description of the video. We are here for your game previews for this weekend. Games start tomorrow and Sunday for the divisional round of the playoffs. We have the Green Bay Packers going up against, who is that, Bass?
San Francisco 49ers.
You better know it. It's not going to be easy. And Dion, we have the Detroit Lions going up against, who is that?
It doesn't even matter, TD.
Woo!
That's what I thought.
You know, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're red hot. These are going to be some good games. We're going to go around the board and get everyone's take to see what they think is going to happen in these games. But before we do, remember, Roundtable Sports is the mother channel of NFC North Roundtable. Make sure you check that out and subscribe to it. Roundtable Sports brings all divisions together, enemies, foes, all the good stuff into one platform where you can go at it with your rivals, all right? So again, check out Roundtable Sports mother channel, link in the description of the video, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video right here on NFC North Roundtable. Well, we're not going to waste your time tonight. We're going to dive right in on this Friday evening, and let's go ahead and talk Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers. Let's start with Nick. How do you see this game going, and what is your score prediction?
You know, it's not going to be against the Packers and the Cowboys, I was like, man, it's going to be an interesting game. And Packers blew the Cowboys out. San Fran is not walking in as confident as people think they might. You know, Green Bay, they just made the playoffs last game of the season. They go out, they beat the number 2 seed. Jordan Love is red hot right now. Aaron Jones, red hot right now. The defense is looking better, which I'm fine with the Packers keeping Joe Barry. Sorry, Bass. But overall, it's going to be a good game. You know, Brock Purdy is arguably the other hot quarterback in the NFC right now. All the quarterbacks in the NFC that are playing right now, those are the 4 best quarterbacks. And I think it's going to be another high-scoring game. It's in San Francisco. Fans are going to be crazy, but they're also going to be needing the fans because Green Bay is not going to go down easy. I got this being another high-scoring game, TD, like I predicted last week, because Green Bay, they can just score the ball no matter what. I got the San Francisco 49ers winning this game, but it's going to be on a field goal in the final seconds of the game. It's going to be 41-38 San Francisco.
Damn.
TD, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bass is taking his receipts, 41-38. Wow.
Right.
All right, one bar. How do you see this one going, and what's your score prediction?
Well, you know, I picked the Packers last week. I was right, so we'll see. But Packers playing at all time. I mean, they are so damn hot right now. The Niners, I think they are a much better team than the Cowboys. But like I said, the Packers playing so well. Like, I don't think Packers are going to be scared of the Niners. I think Packers fans have a reason to be hopeful that they can beat the 49ers. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but to me, this comes down to the running game. I know the Niners are very good against the run, but if Aaron Jones gets going and they're moving the ball and they open things up for Love again, the Packers are going to put up points. There's no doubt about it. The thing with the Niners is, we all know their offense. They have so many options. They don't just have, it's not just CeeDee Lamb or throwing it to him 50 times a game. They have so many options. I think that's going to hurt this Packers defense when all is said and done. But again, it comes down to Aaron Jones. If they can get the ball going, I think they're good. I think Jordan Love's going to have a good game. I think this is going to be a damn fun game to watch. What I'll say is this. A lot of Packers fans right now are kind of like, hey, we're just happy to be here. Shucks. I think that's over. I mean, you guys obviously deserve to be here. You should expect to have a chance to win this game. I mean, this isn't the second place trophy anymore. I mean, you guys are there. You're there for a reason. So go out there and do some business. But all said and done, I think the Niners do win. I think it's like 33-27. I think it's a really close game. I think Love does play good. It just comes down to the Niners' potent offense where Purdy's going to have a game too.
0 for 2. Well, let's go with Dion. What are your thoughts on this game, and what is your score prediction?
Well, I'm sure a lot of Green Bay Packers fans are kind of thinking this way. But it's just as simple as this, man. Can you play with the lead? Can you be up in the fourth quarter on this team? Can you keep it close enough where you have a chance to make it that where Brock Purdy has to go win the game? Because that has been the question all year long, is if all of a sudden Brock Purdy has to be that dude. Not to say that he hasn't showed up at times in those moments, but that's where you just have the smallest sample size to really look at it. How's this offense going to perform if that becomes the situation? And then you start to look at this San Francisco, San Francisco offensive line, man. They got Trent Williams, but outside of that, they could be a little bit shaky. So I think that's the game plan that Green Bay wants to follow in this one. But if that's the case, if this thing is close entering the fourth quarter, I mean, man, I think all of a sudden you should start shifting those bets if you're using Bet US right to Green Bay. Like, hold up, this thing is close. This thing all of a sudden is going to go Green Bay's direction. I think when I look at this one, though, the big thing that sticks out to me with San Fran is the fact is they don't have to blitz a lot and they can create pressure. They don't have like the top pressure rates, but they can create pressure and they don't blitz a lot. And on top of that, they have one of the most sound zone coverage units in football. So if you're going to lean into that again, this is one of the tougher defenses to face because every level they're strong. Linebacker, they're strong. On the outside, they've had real growth from their cornerback position. So I think the San Fran defense, of course, has a lot of issues for what Green Bay is going to do. But at the same time, Green Bay's rolling to a spot where it's kind of like, hey, man, these are two things that are just moving at a really high level right now. Who's going to stop the other? Because someone seems like they're going to get run over in this spot. So to me, I honestly think this one's going to be a situation where someone's getting blown out, honestly, one way or the other. But at the same time, I do think that, when we did the picks that count, right? The picks that stick on the resume. All right. I took San Fran, but man, a few hours later, I'm sitting here saying I would love to see Green Bay win this football game, have a home game for the NFC Championship against the Packers. So I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to win this one. I'm going to take the Packers to win this one because what we've seen is if they can stay on schedule, stay early downs, their pass protection's better, and still, one bar said it, this is a team that I still believe you can run the football on, and Aaron Jones has been that guy. So I'm going to take the Packers.
All right. You are 1-2. Basarowski, listen, man. Congratulations to the Green Bay Packers. Nobody expected them to be here at this point. How do you see this game turning out in your score prediction?
Well, first off, Dion, I love the respect. I know we both want a rematch in the NFC Championship. I think that'd be awesome. I want to start off by saying this, back on Thanksgiving when I mentioned the moon and you guys were laughing at me, Saturday is National Cheese Lovers Day. Just letting you know, just so you know, for Saturday, right? But all jokes aside, it's going to be a much tougher matchup than the Cowboys. Like, what the Packers have done to the Cowboys in the past, whether it was Aaron Rodgers or now Jordan Love, it was like you kind of felt confident going in. But I'll say this. The mentality, I think, behind this Packers team has changed, like the vibe behind it from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. Whereas years past, when you go against teams like San Fran, Tampa back then that would punch you in the mouth, the Packers always used to seem to like kind of cower over and under Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that's changed, man. I just feel like that mentality has changed for the Green Bay Packers. And you guys are right, man. It's going to come down to Aaron Jones running the football. When he gets 20 or more carries this season, they're 5-0. And obviously, if you get 20 more carries, you're able to run the ball probably because you're up, right? The Packers won the toss last week, elected to receive, went down and scored, got up early. I think that's a massive key here. If you can get a lead early against the 49ers, also maybe even a 2-score lead to where they can't run the ball as much. The Packers' run defense is very suspect unless the team they're playing is down by, 7, 10, 14 points, whatever it may be, and they're not running as much as they'd like to. I think it's also going to come down to creating turnovers. The Packers had like 7 interceptions going into Dallas, and then got 2 in that game, one being a defensive score. So if you can get a couple turnovers on the 49ers, I think they're going to be in a great position to win. And then finally, man, just letting Love cook, man. Dion said, the 49ers bring great pressure just bringing 4, but on the opposite side, this Packers offensive line has been like very, very impressive. One of the best offensive lines in the league in terms of not allowing their quarterback to be sacked. Rasheed Walker has taken a great step up. Elton Jenkins, we know how good he's been. Josh Myers, don't want to talk about him, but right guard John Runyon had like 2 straight great games. And Zach Tom has just been shutting down every single like great pass rusher in this league this year. Like no one's been getting by that guy. So credit to that offensive line, allowing Jordan Love to have the time to find receivers, get open, after 3-4 seconds in the pocket and get open, deep. So, man, I'm confident in this team. I am really confident in the Green Bay Packers, and I think this is different than it was in the past when we're going against the Niners in the playoffs and you're a little bit worried. I think it's different under Jordan Love, and I got the Green Bay Packers winning 30-27 and meeting the Lions in the NFC Championship.
Wow. Packers, Lions, NFC Championship. We shall see how that works out. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. These guys, all they have to do is win 2 more games and they get to go to the Super Bowl. Will it happen? Time will tell, but there's a 50% chance that the representative of the Super Bowl will come from the NFC North. Speaking of the Super Bowl, BetUS, our proud sponsor, is giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets. Takes you and a friend to the big game. All you have to do is place a bet on any NFL line, share your bet slip on X, formerly known as Twitter, minimum $25, okay? Make sure that you tag the person that you're going to be taking with you as well. All right, the instructions will be in the description of the video. And here's a final word from our official sponsor, BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
Join now, ladies and gentlemen. BetUS, where the game begins. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. But moving right along, we have another huge matchup this weekend in the NFC North. The Detroit Lions take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield, who is having a wonderful resurgence. But you can't sleep on the Lions because they've been playing just as great a football as anybody in the league. We're going to start with one bar. How do you see this one going down, and what is your score prediction?
I mean, maybe it's just me. This is so weird that the Bucs are in this position. I mean, no disrespect, but this just it's crazy to think that the Eagles are out, the Cowboys are out. I mean, paving the way for the Packers or Lions, whoever, to get in there. But this game, I mean, it's Lions got to come out. They got to do what they've been doing. They got to start off strong and start off hard. I mean, the Bucs, they're stingy against the run. I'm very curious to see how the Lions come out right away. Are they going to pound the ball? Are they going to try to just numb the Bucs defense? What are they going to do? Because the Bucs do have a very good defense. Hutchinson, they got to get after Baker Mayfield. Love or hate Baker Mayfield, I mean, it'll be very, very curious to see which Baker shows up. But if they let that dude sit in the pocket and throw to those 2 receivers, I think the Lions might be in a little bit of trouble. I mean, overall, I think the Lions are going to win. I'll give my prediction in a minute, but I really do think this comes down to Baker Mayfield. If the Lions can force him to look like the real Baker Mayfield, cause some turnovers, I think they got it in the bag. My biggest concern for the Lions is the fact that now everybody's expecting the Lions to beat the Bucs. Come game day, when everybody's doing their predictions, you're going to see nothing but Lions helmets. How are they going to react to that? Are they going to live up to it? Are they going to do what they should do? Hopefully they do. And I got the Lions taking care of business, 31-13. I think they should spank them. They really should. Baker Mayfield, come on, man. Baker Mayfield can't go to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, man. Nick, fill us in. Your thoughts and your score prediction.
So, I mean, the Bucs, you can't sleep. Kind of like the Packers. They're a team that made the playoffs. They were fighting for it to the end. They made it in, and they made some noise. I mean, Baker Mayfield, he looks good. He looks like himself. He's got more playoff wins than the Cleveland Browns have had, and that's the team that took him number 1 overall. So his career is back on track. I think that he deserves to stay in Tampa for at least another year or 2, maybe give him a 2-year contract. But that offense is scary. He still has a ton of weapons at wide receiver. He's got a good running back room. The offensive line's been playing better in the second half of the season. They heated up at the right time. But their defense is very low-key, like someone to be scared of. They have a great young defensive line, good linebacker unit. Their secondary doesn't do too bad of a job. I mean, the Lions are going to have their hands full. I think this is going to be just as tough, if not tougher of a matchup than the LA Rams. as it should be. You're in the second round of the playoffs. And the Lions just do what they did last week. Come out, play hard. As Dion's hat says, play with grit. Dan Campbell's got to come with a good game plan, though. He's got to continue to go forward. He's not the kind of guy that's going to let off the gas pedal. He's definitely not losing sleep over everything. I'm excited for this game, though. I think it's going to be a good one in Detroit. The Bucs aren't going to go down easy, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like the Packers did in Dallas. It's going to be another really close game. And I think it's going to be low scoring because, Detroit's defense is going to do a good job, but Tampa Bay's defense is going to do the same thing. I got the Lions winning this game, no doubt about it. I don't know what the moon is. I'm not going to talk about the moon.
Waxing gibbous.
Okay. That's a factor. But I got the Lions winning this game 28-24. I think Goff is going to have a 4-touchdown game. I think he's going to be the factor in this one. It's going to be a fun game. So, good luck to Dion, but we'll see. The Bucs are not going to be an easy matchup this upcoming weekend.
Basarowski, take it away.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the moon because I was saving that to the end there. It's the same moon that was on Thanksgiving, just letting you guys know. I'm a hype for Baker Mayfield. Everyone kind of wrote him off after Carolina, and I like to see this dude succeed. I think he's the type of quarterback that's a leader. He'll have you run through a brick wall for him. And I was ecstatic about what they did to the Philadelphia Eagles because I'm a big Eagles hater, and so it was awesome to see that happen. But he's playing hot, but then again, so are the Lions, and the Lions also have they pretty much have the edge in every category in terms of offense, defense, running game, passing game, all of that. Tampa Bay is pretty good against the run, so I think that'll be a factor, if they can stop Detroit's running game. But then you saw last week against the Rams, Detroit ran for 75 yards, and they still won that game. I think it's going to come down to who protects the ball. You guys said if what Baker you're going to get, right? If Baker goes out there and throws 2 interceptions, the Lions are going to have this one easily. But if he goes out there and plays like he did against the Eagles or my Packers when he had a perfect quarterback rating, I think it's going to be a lot closer of a game. But I will say this, the Lions aren't going to miss tackles like the Philadelphia Eagles did in that game. I mean, that was atrocious. That might have been the worst performance of tackling I've seen in a very, very long time. So I got Detroit in this one. Like I said, I want to see a rematch, NFC North Championship pretty much, Lions Packers. So I got Detroit 27-20. Muted TD.
Oh, why that keeps happening? 27-20. All right. Well, Dion, the stage is yours. How is this one going to turn out? And what is your score prediction, sir?
Yeah, I think Bass is lying. I don't think he wants to see the Lions in the NFC Championship. He didn't have to bring up the moon, but he did. Here's the real conspiracy, right? I think we have to look at it like this. We have to question, is the moon even real, right? That's where we have to go to. If the Lions, man, I think you guys laid it out well. And I think Nick actually, what he was saying in terms of the improvement, last time we played this Tampa Bay team, they have looked different since then. When we played them, one bar hit on it, like the turnovers, and Bass also touched on this as well, who wins that battle. I mean, they left some things out there. They had some bad turnovers on their own side of the field, but their defense was still really good against us. And in that game, we didn't run the ball at all. We had no success rushing football. Goff had one of his best statistical games. I thought he played one of his best games of the season because when you think Tampa Bay, you think the blitzing. You're like, how are you going to have an answer for that? Especially when you have no run game. So to have an answer like they did was incredible. So for me, things will change up if the Lions find a run game because it's not something that they had last time that these two faced each other. But at the same time, I have tons of confidence. I have no reason to believe the Lions won't find an answer for the blitz. If anything, they'll have success against it because Ben Johnson really to end the season has just seen that over and over and over. Teams that want to blitz a ton, and that's what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do. So I flip it around to the defense. I mean, we held them to 6 points. Like I said, they left some stuff out there. They had some bad turnovers. They don't run the ball that well, but I do like their running backs. And this is a game where it feels like for the Lions to be at their best, it's get back on track in terms of being the elite run defense that you have been this season. Get that back on track, make them live in the longer passing situations. And then all of a sudden that offensive line, that's where they start to have some problems up front. And that's kind of how I'm looking at this one because this thing stays on schedule. Mike Evans, Godwin, I mean, those are two of the tougher matchups in the NFL. I do like the Lions have at cornerback right now, but I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be held to 6. I think they're going to be more explosive. It's indoor, even though it doesn't really matter. It was warm last time we played them. I just think they'll have a little bit more juice offensively. So I think they put up 14 in this game, but I also think for the Lions, they run the football a little bit better. They create some turnovers because they didn't have any last week, but they will because they have the personnel to do it. So I'm saying the Lions win this one 27-14, and they're off to the NFC Championship. And TD, if you don't mind, I just want to ask a quick little question for Nick and One Bar. I mean, this is a complete side question, but we're talking about our games. So I just want to get a thought here. Truly, I just want to know, just like quick answers. Like I'll start with you, Nick. Tell me what position on a roster you feel like is the top need for the Bears. I'm just curious from both of you guys.
Dude, tough. On the wide receiver too, you got to give him another weapon. You know, DJ Moore had a career year this past year. You give him if you give whoever our quarterback is, which I think it is going to be Justin Fields, trading back the number one is just worth way too much, and it's worth it to the team that rebuilds overall. Give him a wide receiver too, like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. That team's going to be dangerous, especially seeing Jordan Love having a ton of weapons, Goff having a ton of weapons, Kirk Cousins having a ton of weapons. That's what Fields needs.
Okay.
Yeah, I got defensive line, 100%. I want Newton in round one, baby. Throw him on there. Our defensive line is bad news, man. We got to build through the trenches. We got nothing. That's an easy one.
All right, TD. I was just curious. You're muted too. So.
What's your team's top need, Dion?
Man, I think our top need is a Super Bowl ring. So we need to accomplish that.
Good answer. Well done, sir.
Weeks, you know what
Damn
I mean?
it.
Man, I'm not even going to ask Bass now. I'm not even going to ask.
Can I change my answer?
No. What is yours, Bass, before we get out of here?
I would say defensive back. You know, Eric Stokes at this point, will he play again, and at what level? Jair, I think he'll have a good bounce back next year, but they'll probably move him to the nickel. Keyshawn Nixon's impending free agent. Rudy Ford, Darnell Savage, John Owens, all impending free agents. They have no safeties back there other than Anthony Johnson Jr., 7th round pick last year. So I think defensive backs, they're going to get 2 defensive backs within the first 3 rounds. We have 2 second rounds, 2 third rounds, and a first. So I think just take your pick at cornerback, McKinstry or Arnold or someone of that sort. And then at safety, man, yeah, you're definitely going to go one of those spots as well. But defensive back.
Interesting. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck to the Lions. Good luck to the Packers this weekend. Next week, we'll see how it all fares out. Until next time, NFC North Roundtable checking out. Love you all. Bet US. Peace. We're out.